Streaming. So my good friend Jose asked me how we. Hey everyone. So in this video today, actually stream, I'm gonna show you what I've learned today. My friend Jose asked me how I can import the DTM into Civils 3D. Now, because the DTM is the digital terrain model, and the digital terrain model is basically anything without the trees, without the buildings, a roof, etc. So I did some digging and I think I found the way. So until Civils 3D loads, what we're gonna go ahead and do is just create a new tab, and we're gonna be downloading the Lidar information. So if you go lidar.gov.uk, we need the map, and then also we need the, what else we need? The grid reference finder. Now, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I have 2 monitors and I'm trying to monitor them as closely as possible. So now let's have a look and find a nice flat-ish area. So, which one I downloaded earlier? No, cannot recall which one I downloaded. This looks like an empty site and should do the trick. So we're just gonna copy the longitude and latitude, put it back into our here, and what we're gonna do is copy, paste, and copy and paste. Now we get the, actually let's get the postcode, actually, or the address. Actually, let's get the grid reference number, put in the survey data, and that should be in Birmingham. Yep, that seems correct. Now what we're gonna do is just simply click on our pen tool, select the area, get available tiles. Now in the meantime, I need to, let's see, what do I need to do? I need to clear the tutorial folder because I already had some downloaded stuff. So just gonna clear them and waiting for the tiles to download. So we're gonna do the 1 meter, but we're not gonna use digital surface model. We're gonna use the terrain one, and we're gonna do the 1 meter one. Now we're gonna hit the blue link so we can download it. I'm just gonna copy the name so I can save it later on because I will need it. So what we're gonna do now is gonna use only Civils 3D. Now I use this with AutoCAD Map 3D, but because Civils 3D should have Map 3D in it, so it should work. So I just need to find the right toolbar. So we're gonna extract everything. And in that file, there should be a TIF file, which is what you need, because that's what we're gonna do. So in Civils 3D, what we're gonna do is map WS. Let's see, action. If I'm not missing, space on. There we go. This is the task pane. So the command is map WS workspace and task pane on. So what we're gonna do is gonna hit data, we're gonna connect to data, we're gonna go to raster, we're gonna paste the number of the lidar just so we can know which one we took, and then in the file what we're gonna do is grab the TIF image and hit connect, and then add to map. Now obviously your drawing should be, your units should be in meters. Yes, and the grid reference system should be pretty much close, so we are accurate. So our site, I'm not sure where it was, so let's go have a look. So the grid reference for that site, the eastings and northings were these. So what we're gonna do is just type point, and we're gonna paste them here. That didn't work. So F2 to bring the window, and just type point. I'm just gonna type the numbers 73 and 282911, and the point should have popped. So there it is. That's our site there. So P type to change the point relative to screen 10, and we're gonna do it a circle like this. So there we go. That's our point. So if we regen now, it becomes bigger, so we know where the side is. Obviously, we can change the style of the TIF by double clicking on it and then going to theme, click on theme and just do star ramp, hit OK, and that should be it. Or you can do a palette, any palette you want, for example depth palette 1 or 2 or 3, I don't know, they have so many palettes. A star ramp, let's do it. Okay, circular palette, actually let's do a plant. There you go. Okay, I do not want the green one. Why does the green one appear in there? I honestly don't know why the green one is appearing there, but let's fix that. I'm gonna fix it by saying this one. Okay, okay. Still doesn't full color. Actually, grayscale. Full color, theme, palette. There we go. I'm just gonna do the ramp one. And to do star ramp, no, palette. Okay, reset. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna do it one more time just to get rid of that green shade. I'm not sure why it keeps popping up there. Anyway, that is minor, but that is the TIF that we get. So that is our height contour map, let's say. We can do it even differently. So if you just double click on it, go theme, and then just let's change it, for example, to 1, apply. You can see changes. Oh, that's not the case that we're looking for. So now what we're gonna do is right click on this one, create contour layers. Every 1 meter. Actually, every half a meter or every 1 meter should be enough. And then in the save contours file name, we're gonna save it into our folder. So it's in SDF format that's gonna save. Contours, we're gonna save it. And it's in meters, we're gonna hit OK. Will take a few seconds to generate your contours. There you go. The contours have been generated. You can turn off all this by using this. And then what we're going to do is map import. And then we're going to select the SDF. And we're going to go to our tutorial folder and import the contours that we just exported. And what we're going to do in the data, we're going to select it, create object data, contours. And if you see in the select fields, we're bringing the elevation and make sure these are ticked. We're gonna hit OK again and then OK. And we have our contours. Now, if we go to properties, you can see that they're polylines, but they have an OD contour. So we don't want this. What we wanna do now is we wanna go to map export. And we wanna export to SRI file. Go to our folder. So, and let's name it contours. It's a shape file. Hit OK. We're going to export lines, data. We're going to select our attributes, object data, contours, and make sure these are ticked and OK. Now, when we hit OK, I think. Yeah, when we hit OK. No. We did a boogie. Let's go back. So map export export, yes. Map export. There we go. We're gonna do the contours. Yes, we're gonna overwrite it. Lines, data. We're gonna select object data, contours. We're gonna hit OK. And then we're gonna go. Is there any options? No. Okay. So we're gonna hit OK. and we have exported the contours. Now let's delete this. We don't need this, so delete. And what we're gonna do, create your ground surface. You should go to Home, Surface, GIS Data, and go to, actually it's copy. Nah, we couldn't. So let's go back to our Lidar, and what I'm gonna do is just get the name of this file, and what I'm gonna do is existing from, so people can know where I got this ground model from. And then I'm gonna do the contour style, the style contours 1 to 5 meters, and then I'm gonna do, let's say, green, because it's actually, no, let's do asphalt, orange. I like orange. And then connect to data. We're gonna do a shape file. We're gonna click on the 3 dots. We're gonna link it to the contours file we have exported. We're gonna log in, and we're gonna hit the contours. Yes, I think that's the one we should do. Yeah, and in geospatial query, we're gonna untick the define areas of interest by data mapping. In the elevation, we're gonna select the elevation civil 3D property. Now we're gonna hit finish, and it will take a few good seconds so we can actually create the surface model from the shapefile that we have exported. So basically, we import the TIF, we export contours, we import the contours back, and then we export them as shapefile. And now, as you can see here, this is a surface model of the TIF. Now, there must be a way that we could see, as you can see, that's the model as well. So that's how the ground is and everything. Now, we have, where did we show our proposed, where is our, we deleted our, there we go. No, actually, where is it? We need to go all the way up to find our point. There we go. So point, there we go. So that's our point here. So now what we're gonna do is, since we have the longitude and longitude, we're gonna go back, we're gonna insert set location from map. Remember my choice, yes. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna paste the longitude and longitude, hit the magnify tool, drop mark here. Next, we're gonna make sure the units are in meters. This is very important because it might put your drawing way off. And let's say when it was gonna size OSGB 1936, and the PSG code is 27700. Next, we're gonna snap onto here. If you cannot snap, then go to your snap settings, enable the node, snap, enter, and give it a few seconds, zoom out, and you can see your site. Now what we're gonna do is just gonna draw a boundary line, but in your case you should have your boundary line already. And an advice from me personally, if you're gonna be working with the LiDAR information before you have received the topographical survey, I would advise for you to offset your boundary line. Actually, let's pull the what seems like a river. Yeah, it's, or a brook, not sure what I would call it. But what I would suggest is to offset the boundary outside. Now, the reason we're going to offset the boundary outside is because, let's say you want to draw sections and you want to see like what happens beyond the boundary. Don't cut your information there, like allow for a tiny bit, like 10 meters. And let's say that is our boundary now. So we're just going to give it a red color and red and a global width of 0.5 meter. That's what usually architects give. And what we're gonna do now, because we have created the surface one, which is from what we imported, I thought we renamed it, but let's go to surface properties. Oh, we add description. So existing is the name, and we hit OK. And then in the definition, we expand that. And then in the boundaries, we're gonna add a boundary. We're gonna name it offset boundary, and it's an outer one, and we're gonna hit OK, and that's it. And now as well, we're gonna draw a rectangular just so we can have the side, and the geolocation capture area, so do the same one here, and then just turn off the map, and there you have it. Let's delete our point. We don't actually keep the point, just change the p type from relative to screen to absolute units and change it to 1 so you won't be visible. And then what we can do is go to right click object viewer, and that is our site that we have imported. Now, I'm not sure why they cut it off, but let us review. So if it cut it off, it means the triangles are off. So if we open the triangles, it cut off a big chunk of a triangle that it had. So let's remove the boundary just for now. So we go here and just delete. If we delete that boundary, it should create back the surface. So rebuild automatic will take a few seconds. See, it cut off these triangles, so be careful of the triangles. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a vertex to outside, just tiny bit outside, tiny bit outside of the triangles that I got cut off by. So that way, add vertex, and then I'm gonna add the boundary back, and then say offset boundary, hit OK, and there we go. So the offset boundary will not follow exactly through because this line does not have any points. So basically when we're telling it, oh, that's your boundary line, that's where we're gonna stop. But what you can do is this. Watch this out. So let's say we didn't do this with the boundary line, right? And we offset it. So what I would do is select this polyline, go feature objects, create feature lines from objects, right? And let's name it boundary test. And grading, let's say actually, let's give it a basic one. And okay, so now it became a, let's say, a feature line. In the elevation editor, go to elevation from surface, and then select the existing and hit enter, and then exit. Now what I'm gonna do is add this break line into my existing, so offset boundary, okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna offset this one. Actually, I'm not gonna offset it. I'm gonna redraw my boundary, so I'm gonna freeze the triangles for now. Surface style, freeze the triangles, and what I'm gonna do is, since I have my original boundary there, I'm gonna offset it by 11 meters, let's say. Actually, maybe 20, just so you can see what's gonna happen. So now when I create a boundary, and let's say name it off boundary, let's say, because I've changed the shape of the triangles, now when I cut off the boundary, it should have been closer, but not sure why it didn't cut it. This was not supposed to be happening. Why is this happening to me? It should have been happening. Well, at least I showed you guys how to do the DTM one. So wait, I thought I added this feature. Oh wait, we didn't add this feature. So add surface as a break line, add it to the existing, and rebuild. Interesting. You can edit surface always and add the point and enable your snapping to apparent intersection, and it should pick up the levels. If it didn't, then new elevation picked it up. So see, if I click it, it says new elevation there, 130. Hit enter, enter. So now if I do again the boundary, which hopefully will work this time, So there is ways to fix it. Like, don't stress out, oh my god, and freak out. So there is ways to fix it. See, now it's been fixed. So I don't need these actually. So I deleted my boundary by accident. Is this my boundary line? No, this is my boundary line. Okay. So it has been fixed, and if we go to object viewer, you can see that we have our ground model. Now, if you want to fix these triangles, then what I would suggest do is just make sure that you create new points on the existing surface, like where your line is, just so you can fix those triangles. And sorry about that. And that is how you get a Civils 3D model, a Civils 3D surface from the Lidar information of DTM from the DEFRA survey. Is it DEFRA survey, the name of the website? Yeah, DEFRA survey data download. Now, if you like this video, consider sharing it with your colleagues so they can learn as well how to do it and stop asking you questions. And plus, I get more views and more subscribers, so then I'm incentivized to create more videos for you, and as well search for new ways and methods of doing things. Like this one I just figured out today, thanks to Jose as well for encouraging me to try and find a solution to this, because I showed a video on how to import LiDAR information in PDS, but didn't get my head around how, and that was DSM. Now this is the DTM. So hopefully you found this tutorial useful, and I might be doing more live session like this so you can ask questions as well. So this can be, yes, Ansaf, this can be done as well in QGIS as well. But since we're working in, if you're working in Civils 3D, maybe you want to keep them all in the same place, if that makes sense. So you won't have to switch between software unless you're using QGIS for something else. But yes, if you don't have access to Civils 3D, you can import the TIFF file into into QGIS. However, I think you need to have the GRASS edition of QGIS, which comes pre-installed, I think. And then from there you can export the contours. I'm having a hard time trying to export the contours with a Z value. I can export them without a Z value, but not with a Z value from QGIS. But this way we have a surface model, and yeah, you can start working straight away from it. So you can do your quick earthworks that and field analysis. How long did that actually streaming take? What are we, like 22 minutes? So 22 minutes all it took to create a ground model from the 2019 LiDAR survey that the government has done. And what, another, let's say, hour to model and prepare your earthworks, and yeah, there you have it, a high earthworks level strategy. So hope you find this tutorial useful. Like and subscribe and share it with your colleagues, and stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night.